seen the winner.
The area's most comprehensive news coverage, this is 13 News. With Jerry Anderson, Janine Lauber, meteorologist Stan Stachak, and John Gillespie, sports.
It's a Texas-style love feast for President Reagan and Vice President Bush tonight at the 1984 Republican National Convention. And in a short while, the convention floor will fill up for tonight's keynote address. Good evening, I'm Jerry Anderson. Republicans gathering here in Dallas are doing their best today to offset the so-called Ferraro factor.
Toledo Mayor Donna Owens is one of 5 female Republican mayors of major cities. So the Republican Party found a place for her on the Permanent Organization Committee.
Women have received a lot of high positions in the administration, and there are more women actually with positions of authority than there have ever been in the past. It's just that there are some issues that concern me as a woman that the president and I differ on, and I'm sure other women do too, and that creates what is called the gender gap.
Putting a little bit of tarnish on this first day of the Republican National Convention, an Indiana man has been jailed tonight. Dallas police say he was found to be carrying a note threatening the life of President Reagan. Michael Hitlaw has been formally charged with trespassing. He's been arraigned and jailed here in Dallas without bond.
Well, Jerry, of all of the women here, Catherine Ortega will not be the only one in the spotlight tonight.
Now, we talked about a parade of Republican women. Also, the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Margaret Heckler, speaking tonight. And UN Ambassador Jean Kirkpatrick will address the Republican convention, even though she's a registered Democrat.
That's right, Jerry. And tonight at 11 o'clock, we'll hear from a young woman who took part in this morning's opening ceremony.
Yeah, I understand she's a woman from Army. We'll look forward to hearing from her. We'll also plan to get down to the convention floor tonight to talk to some of Ohio's delegates and get their reaction to Catherine Ortega's keynote address tonight. Janine?
Thank you, Jerry and Brenda, very much.
When income tax rates were cut across the board, it helped all the people.
The president went on to criticize Mondale's plans to raise taxes, saying it's going to set the country back.
Calling for a tax increase was their typical knee-jerk reaction. And believe me, when they're knee-jerks, you get kicked.
From here, President Reagan will be going to Illinois for more campaigning before heading to Dallas for the Republican National Convention. Gerald Jackson, 13 News in Cincinnati. Those Republicans down in Dallas have to be cheering about today's economic figures. The Commerce Department says the economy grew at an annual rate of just over 7.5% during the second quarter of this year. Coming up after a short break, Jim Harpin will bring you to date on a murder trial in Van Wert.
Janine, the prosecution today presented some evidence it had been holding on to as its final salvo. More in a moment as 13 News continues.
Well, not only does our crew in Dallas have to endure the hot air of politicians, they also have to endure the hottest weather in the country. Stan Stachak is back from vacation, and he'll talk about the Texas heat wave in our next segment, and he'll give us our forecast, too. Stachak is back from vacation. He brought with him one of the most gorgeous days I have seen all summer long. Thanks a lot, and welcome back.
I didn't do it. Merle left it.
He did.
Lots of sunshine. Lots of sunshine today continues as we take a look at a satellite picture of the Great Lakes region.
All this, John, about the Cubs not allowing lights at Wrigley Field.
Well, it's been a tradition in Chicago and Wrigley Field since the inception of baseball there that they do not have lights. But ABC and NBC want them to put lights in if the Cubs make the playoffs.
So we can all see it.
No, it's not going to happen.
I guess not, huh?
But the Cubs could win it this year.
Certainly.
The surprising first-place Chicago Cubs kept right on rolling in Wrigley Field today, whipping the Houston Astros 6-1.
So that's quite a thrill for that guy.
6 years old. He's got quite a career ahead of him, doesn't he? Thanks, John, very much. Coming up when we return, we'll tell you what one business firm has provided for those Republicans down in Dallas. And, you know, you may decide it's just the sort of thing those delegates can stomach.